Hello my friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Novella. Today is Sunday and that means, of course, Koffieklatsch. Koffieklatsch is a Dutch, Flemish, German word that means that I invite you over for a coffee and we have a little chit chat. Mostly about books, but today is going to be a little bit different, so stick around. Now, first we'll talk about the book, so don't worry. I read 3 books, 1 classic, 1 book that should be a classic, and another book that just came out, and that was also a 5-star read. So if you hear me screaming or shouting or whatever, it's little Vita who is exploring my legs. Anyway, what have I read? I have read A Farewell to Arms by, I have to look. Ooh, what an impression did he make, Ernest Hemingway. I read Maidenhair by Mikhail Shishkin, and I read All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby. And I will start with this one. This is a phenomenal book. It's a thriller and you have to read it as a thriller. It is very well done, very high-paced. Actually, if you loved Razor Blade Tears, you will love this even more. It's a very, very good book. So I gave it 5 stars, yeah. So it's definitely a buy book if you love thrillers. Or if you want to explore the genre, this is a good one to start with, because it's not with a typical frustrated detective who drinks a lot and has a divorce coming up. She's climbing my plant right now, so this will be fun. Anyway, so we are in a little town in Virginia, and it's the first time that there's a black sheriff, and there's a shooting at a school. And the man who was shot is a very popular, what does he teach? Geography teacher, white, and he is shot in the face by a black boy. And the book starts immediately with the calling in of the shooting and everything that happens. The black boy is immediately shot down by 2 of his deputies, and it's like everybody wants to say, well, we have the killer, so all is well. But not for our detective, for our sheriff. He wants to dig deeper. He wants to know why this happened, because shooting someone in the face is very up close and personal. It's very personal. And yeah, of course, they start to look at his computer and they find snuff movies. And with teenage boys and girls black teenage boys and girls between the age of 14, 16. And of course, he didn't film that alone. So it is a lot to take in for the little village, and yeah, people feel entitled. They want to know firsthand what the sheriff is going to do, and there's a lot of things, a lot of dynamics that are there since 200-300 years. And also there is a statue in the town that commemorates one of the fallen soldiers during the Civil War, and of course that doesn't really help everything. And so yeah, it's a really good book, really fast-paced, well-written, very engaging. I adored it. I give it 5 stars, so definitely a buy book. Also, if you want to explore the genre, it's not too, it's gritty, but it's not, yeah, it's gritty, yeah, but not too gruesome, I think, but maybe I'm used to a lot. But I really, really enjoyed it. It's indeed, like I said before, twice already, 5-star read. Buy it. Then a second 5-star read is not a classic, but Maidenhair by the Russian author Mikhail Shishkin. This is very difficult to talk about it because it is a book that is so rich and so well written and so confusing and so capricious and so beautiful and tender and hard and it's like you go into, you know, you have those when you have fun fairs, there's sometimes a tent with all kinds of mirrors that distort you. It's like you walk through we call it a Spiegelpaleis, a mirror palace. It's like you go through it and you see everything distorted, but at the end it all becomes clear, more or less. But it's so genre defying and so fascinating to read this book. This is not a book if you're not used to reading literary fiction, then this is not a book for you. This is a book for the seasoned reader who likes to be and who loves to be challenged. This is a very challenging book, but very well done. It is the story, so the main focus is the story of a Russian interpreter who works in Switzerland. And he helps refugees from Russia translate their story that they are telling to the Swiss people that have to decide if they can stay or not. And actually he knows in advance that they almost never can stay. So he finds it already very disheartening to listen to them and having to tell them that it won't happen, that they won't be able to stay. And it starts very normal, but then everything becomes strange, and sometimes the answer becomes the question becomes the answer, and sometimes you hear about a Chechen fighter, and then suddenly it becomes a Greek story, like a mythical story, or there are references to Dostoevsky, to the Bible, to so many things that happened in Grozny, atrocities that you hear, that you read, and still you don't know really what you're reading and who is talking. Not always. But you are mesmerized and you are fascinated. And yeah, as soon as you finish this book, you know you have to read it a second time and a third time to really grasp everything that, because it's a huge web that he has created, and you're the little fly, and you fly in that web and you're entangled, but you don't really see the construction of the web. And you have to be able to get out of it, and before you fly in again, you see the whole net and how it's built. And you can't do that with the first read. So this is an absolute reread. Should you buy this book? Absolutely, because you want to reread it and you will want to annotate and to make notes and to make referrals and see where the story is referring to, or what event the story is referring to. It is fascinating. It is a wild trip, but not for people who just want a light read. This is not a light read. This is something that really makes your brain work big time. And so yeah, it's very good. It's very good. And then the classic, Ernest Hemingway, Farewell to Arms. It says somewhere, the great American novel about the First World War. And I think, really? Is that the great one? Aren't there any better? Because then it's kind of shitty. I mean, it's not bad. This story isn't bad. I mean, it's about an American... so it's set in the First World War in Italy. And in Italy, they were fighting the Austrians, I believe. And the American, he speaks Italian, and that's so amazing, apparently. But anyway, he becomes first ambulance driver, and then he gets wounded. He meets a nurse with whom he falls in love with, and then he is sent to the army, where he has to fight, and then he escapes, and then he sees the nurse again. They have a child, and then something really bad happens. Now, to call this the great American novel, I don't see the point, really. It's okay. It's a 3-star book. But not more. I mean, yeah, I was really surprised. I know he writes in simple prose, but I feel that his simple prose just doesn't work in novels. I haven't read all his novels, but I did read this one. The complete short stories of Ernest Hemingway, the Finca Vigia edition, this one, and that was masterful. This is brilliant. I think Hemingway is an amazing short story writer, but not so much a novelist, I think. But that's my honest opinion. Maybe I just don't get the cultural references. That's also possible. So yeah, that's it. That were my 3 books. So 3 stars for the classic. I wasn't impressed by the story and the writing, and maybe it was also the I've read it in Dutch. Maybe it was the translation, but I doubt it, because it's mostly the story that I thought was quite thin, quite light. Yeah, that was it. So those are the books. Everything goes well. The cat is eating a lot. It's so funny, you know. I have, of course, a litter box. And well, she knows how to go already in the litter box. She already knows how to do that. But the way she has learned it is so funny. So every time Muffin, my dog, saw that it was time for that she was looking for a little corner, because a cat always looks for corners, and that's why it's important that you put a litter box in some kind of corner. And every time she saw that Vita was ready to go, she put her little nose under Vita and pushed her toward the little box. So she quite quickly, like in a day or two, she knew that that was the designated space to do a number 1 and a number 2. So that was really, really funny. Now, this weekend was lousy weather, but that didn't matter, because I was inside all the time. Because, yeah, I'm a Belgian. I'm a real Belgian. And that means that I love cycling, the sports. So yesterday we had like a magnificent day, and today we had an even better day. So yesterday with the men we had Remco Evenepoel, who won the Classico San Sebastian. That's a really hard race, a one-day race. And there's also the Tour de France Féminine, and we have one very good racer named Lotte Kopecky. And normally she's just a classical rider. That means that she's very good at long, hard races, but not climbing because she's way heavier than a typical climber. A typical climber weighs at least 10 kilos less than her. But against all odds, she was like 5th, I believe, yesterday in the most difficult climbing race during the Tour de France Féminine. She was the yellow jersey holder from the beginning till that day. She lost it then to her teammate, where she was actually working for. And her goal was actually just win a race and to help. She won a race. She won the first with a big time difference to the rest. And that's why she could stay for a very long time in the yellow jersey. And today, so she ended up, yesterday she was 4th in the GC, the general classement. The last race was today, and that was a time trial. And she outdid herself, and now she is 2nd in the GC. So that means that, yeah, she gets on the stage, and that was something that she never believed was possible. And yeah, that was really against all odds. So that's also very beautiful. I like that. I like those things. I like watching the Tour de France and the Tour, the Giro. That's the Italian. That's the Tour of Italy. And now we are now first there is the, I believe now first there is the World Championships, where she has a chance, and Remco Evenepoel and Wout van Aert also have a chance to win, as well for the road race as the time trial. And then after that it's the Vuelta, where we can enjoy Remco Evenepoel trying to win his 2nd Vuelta. That's a 3-week race, 21 stages, and yeah, really looking forward to that. So yes, and Vingegaard is competing, and Roglic is competing. So yeah, no, I lost you all, but I really like it. I love it. So yeah, no harm done, I guess. It's a lot more fun since the cheating American is not longer in the cycling world. People don't know he didn't only cheat with using doping, but he also cheated by using an electric engine in his bike. That's the worst part. I know that's like really, really, really bad. But anyway, those days are gone, and you can see that the young generation just loves to cycle and to attack and to do wild things, and it's beautiful to see, but it stays a dangerous sport. Anyway, that's it. So this week there won't be any races, so I will have time to read. And that's it. I hope you have a good reading week ahead of you. I hope you really enjoyed your weekend with friends or family, and good books and your pets. And I hope that everybody is in good health. And thank you for spending your time with me. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you next, and talk to you later. Bye-bye.